Good morning, and welcome to InTouch, a public affairs show dedicated to improving the lives of Susquehanna Valley residents. I'm Freddi Hammer, News Director at Backyard Broadcasting. This morning, we're going to talk a little bit about ALS, and we'll talk about a local woman, Annette McClure, who has struggled to even gain a diagnosis of this awful disease, and now how her friends and family have rallied around her, planning fundraisers to make sure she has the financial support and comfort she needs going forward. According to Wikipedia, ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and is a specific disease that causes the death of neurons controlling voluntary muscles. It may begin with weakness in the arms or legs or with difficulty speaking or swallowing, and about half the people affected by ALS develop at least mild difficulties, but most eventually lose the ability to walk, use their hands, speak, swallow, and breathe. The cause is not known in 90% to 95% of the cases, but it is believed to involve both genetic and environmental factors. It became well known in the U.S. in the 20th century when in 1939 it affected baseball player Lou Gehrig, and later worldwide affecting the 1963 diagnosis of cosmologist Stephen Hawking. I first heard about Annette McClure when they started planning the ALS Poker Run event at the Trout Run Hotel coming up September 7th. The event will raise money for her expenses while she battles ALS. Her family friend, Jody Rogers, is with us today to provide a little more insight into what Annette and her family are going through, as she's been facing ALS for a few years now. Good morning to you, Jody.
Good morning, Freddi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so well. It's really great of you to join us today to talk a little bit about Annette McClure and maybe explore a little bit about what she's going through trying to diagnose this ALS disease.
Yes, it's a very rare but very bad disease that they don't have a lot of suggestions on how to control yet, but we're hoping to at least start something that gets awareness out there and helps make Annette a lot more comfortable in her life.
Well, we know she is suffering here, and she has a lot of good friends. Tell me a little bit about Annette McClure and how you are friends with the family and how much she's affected your life. Maybe she's touched you in some way by inspiring you, I suppose, with this situation.
Well, Annette's been a great family friend. I've known the family for several years now. Her attitude, her character, her personality is second to none. Even though she's affected by this disease, it does not affect any of those attributes of her, and she treats all of family, friends, strangers with so much respect and so much. She fights this with so much courage that nobody really realizes, but she is such a fighter and amazing person to everybody she touches.
Tell me a little bit about her struggle. I mean, she and her family really have struggled with trying to decide whether this is even an ALS diagnosis, what she's going through. Explain what she's been suffering from.
Well, over the years, she's struggled from different abilities to grasp things, to get up. Her muscles have been affected. Doctors had struggles diagnosing ALS, as they do with ALS for anybody. They at one time thought it was something like Lyme's disease or another something that affects her negatively. But ALS is very hard to diagnose, and she's seen many doctors, and her family has helped support her trying to find out what the real diagnosis was. And finally, a couple years ago, she did get a pretty definitive answer that it was ALS. And going forward with that, it's tough because there's not a lot of options out there for this disease. While people know ALS, or more popularly known as Lou Gehrig's disease, there's not as much research, development, finances that go into attacking what really the problem is and how to help control or solve or cure this disease. So every time something like this happens to a person, somebody like her family steps up and tries to help make her life more comfortable, or even put money into helping do some research, putting it into research to try and find something, at least the start of where this horrible disease starts, and and try to attack what's really affecting her.
When you look at the research that's on the internet, different things that I just briefly looked at, they say no cure, just comfort level care is basically what we're trying to do, help Annette McClure endure until we can maybe find some answers.
Absolutely. Like I say, she fights so much, and she's the last one to ask for help, but her family, which is so loving, wants to do anything and everything for her. And the disease actually fights, it affects your nerves, which in turn affect the muscles. And like I say, it's very hard for her that she can't straighten out her fingers to grasp. She needs assistance many times with a lot of daily duties, and her family has stepped up tremendously. But she is such a wonderful person, and she's very humbled by how her family has reached out to try and help her. Every day, her family does so many things for her, and she is so grateful, but yet she's so humbled. She's the last person to ask for anything, and that's what makes her family want to step up and do something like this. She deserves to be comfortable in life, and hopefully we can keep her comfortable, and they find something to help maybe reverse the effects of this horrible disease.
Absolutely. If we all contribute a little bit, we can get a lot done. It's an event coming up September 7th. It's at the Trout Run Hotel, which is a ALS poker run to benefit Annette McClure. And that starts with registration at 9:30 on Saturday, the 7th. And it's at the Trout Run Hotel. Tell us a little bit about the folks at the Trout Run Hotel letting us use that space.
Well, Jill at the hotel has been so gracious to us. She's actually friends of the family, and she stepped up and allowed them to have this poker run there. Some of her family was familiar with doing a function like this, and along with a lot of help from other friends and people in the community, they've stepped up to help us start this poker run and possibly something in the future as well. But Trout Run Hotel is sponsoring the food for us, giving us the location. They've been so grateful to the family, and it's amazing. And many other people, many other sponsors have helped so much to make this possible. They've stepped up with many baskets for donations.
Nice.
There's quilts that's been made, some large items that are going to be raffled off. Even if you don't have a motorcycle, you're more than welcome to come. It's $5 just to have lunch there. You still have all the opportunities to get raffle tickets and get some tremendous prizes, and just have some fun with the community. Meet Annette, see how wonderful she is. She's a beautiful person, and just see what she will. You'll notice that she will not say anything except great things about anybody.
Aww.
And that's what makes this so easy to do for her.
Well, we hope to meet Annette McClure coming up September 7th at the Trout Run Hotel, and the kickstand's up at 11 a.m. for the ALS poker run that's going to be benefiting her. That chip draw then for the afternoon, people hanging out for the run, coming by for dinner at the Trout Run Hotel afterwards. That chip draw with the 50-50 and Chinese auction starting around 5 p.m., right?
Correct.
Well, all those wonderful prizes that you mentioned and different baskets are going to be available for the raffles and giveaways, so that's going to be wonderful. Plus the dinner, of course, that the Trout Run Hotel provides. Thank for them.
Yes, they are wonderful people.
And it's a rain or shine event, so it doesn't matter what the weather is. It's going to be a big sunny day inside the Trout Run Hotel if there's a little bit of rain.
Absolutely. I know somebody's looking down on us and going to give us a great day no matter what.
Well, we certainly hope that all the proceeds that are made for Annette McClure help her feel more comfortable dealing with this ALS disease, a diagnosis that we absolutely want to be eradicated, and we want it to be reversed and go the other direction, and so that so everybody can enjoy Annette as much as they seem to right now.
That's correct. With so many bad things out in the world today with medical, it's really nice to have the community step up and just try and attack this one at a time. And this is a very, very good cause and a very, very good person. And a lot of people are we're thankful for a lot of people to step up and help us.
Well, tell me a little bit, just an overview of what a poker run is, what happens exactly. So I'm thinking a person that rides a motorcycle knows about a poker run, but maybe somebody has never done that and they don't know what you do. How do you do a poker run? You show up at the Trout Run Hotel at 9:30 on the 7th of September. What happens?
If you come with your bike, you'll sign up and go on a several mile bike run and stop at several different places and get different chips. And at the end of the run, when you come back to the Trout Run Hotel, they'll add up the chips and see who has the best chip count, who has the worst chip count, and you'll get prizes for such. So if you have, and that will be determined by the committee who has the best chip count, who has the worst chip count, and we'll have trophies for them. And then also we'll also have one trophy for what the committee, or we have a designation for a best bike trophy. So
Nice.
We'll have trophies given, and afterwards, again, the bike run is just part of all the fun we'll have at that day, with the raffles, with the food, with just the gathering of community. Trout Run is a small but so close-knit family that I can't believe anybody around the area wouldn't want to come visit and just view the terrific community, the surroundings, and have a great time.
Well, it's all going to benefit Annette McClure, who's a wonderful lady in our community. September 7th at the Trout Run Hotel. Come for the ALS Poker Run and the wonderful events all day with giveaways and raffles, a Chinese auction, a 50-50. Plus, the chip draw, which your poker run, of obviously, as you just described, is going to be all part of the trophy winning, too. So that's going to be a nice time. Thanks to you, Jody, and Karen Ives, who hooked us up so that we could talk about Annette McClure's Day coming up on September 7th.
Thank you so much, Freddi, for your help and assistance to get this out to the community. We can't thank you enough for your help with the event.
Well, we are looking forward to finding out how well things are and how well Annette McClure is doing in the future. We want to keep her healthy and make sure that everybody who loves her gets to spend as much time with her as absolutely possible. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you.
InTouch is locally produced in our studios at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport. To get in touch with us regarding questions, comments, or topic ideas, call weekdays between 8 and 5, 570-323-8200. You can also write to us at 1685 4 Mile Drive, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, 17701. Attention, Freddi Hammer. Or email me at fhammer@backyardbroadcasting.com. Thanks for listening to In Touch, a production of Backyard Broadcasting.